something I'd like to talk about as well as all the other stuff I've talked about. Sometimes you want to emulate other instruments on guitar. And I'm strapped to guitar because I don't play really anything else, Like, for instance, I don't play steel, so I did some steel stuff. I can't play banjo unless it's that song. I push play. No, it's okay. You got your level and stuff? Okay. No, but I can't really play banjo like the authentic tried and true banjo. I can play like Ganjitar a little bit and cheat. It kind of sounds like a banjo. But there's a rollingness to banjo, and when it's played correctly, it's really beautiful, and it's really percussive, and it's really expressive, and it's really cool. And so sometimes trying to learn some of those banjo licks on guitar, it's fun, first off. And I'll just show you, like, for instance, one thing would be... you got kind of a rolling thing going on, so if you dry it up too, it really starts to sound more like you can get on the back of the, close to the bridge, So there's that rollingness to banjo. It's really cool that you can adapt to to the electric guitar. And that's kind of how I go about it. I would use my fingers a little bit. But we did a song called Banjo, and it's all about the banjo. It's like, holding the banjo up in high regard, because we all do love the banjo. And we love good old mountain music. We love bluegrass. But we thought it'd be really cool to do kind of what the Dixie Dregs used to do. They would incorporate banjo and fiddle, and Steve Morse would play guitar over the top of them. They'd double parts, they'd triple parts. And I always thought it was so cool, man. And it's been a while, I think, since anybody's really kind of tried to do that. Béla Fleck's done it for years. We all know how wonderful he is. And it's just been a while since somebody's done it in country music and put it on country radio. And so it was fun for me to get to go over and figure out the banjo solo and double it, and then have fiddle with us. And it just becomes it becomes this huge orchestral moment of just country instruments and a little bit of rock backbone. And so I had chose Les Paul in the studio to do the song with, and I do that also in our live setting when we do banjo. And I happen to have that live recording here. And we're pretty well by the book in the live version versus our studio version, because the banjo part's so specific, and it's such a main part and theme of what the song is all about. So I'll play banjo for you right now. Opry, it's even better. goes wild. So we let the banjo really shine there in the outro because there's plenty of guitar in our show. So what's fun is that solo section, and I want to speak about that a little bit. That banjo is raunchy and it's really good. He's got it cranked up. It's almost kind of given a little bit and crunchy, and I love that. And when I'm going to go about doubling that part, most of it's really picked. And for my style, I have a hard time picking all that. I really, really do. So what I like to do is I like to use hammer-ons and slur the notes a little bit more. And so, for instance, a little slight slap back on that. 2, 3, 4. And the other thing I like to do on this, on the live version, is use this little pog for a little low octave, which just gives it a whole different sound. And plus, we talked about how the fiddle is on there, and it's banjo, and it's electric guitar. You throw this octave on there, all of a sudden, that orchestra really starts speaking. And so it sounds more like this. 2, 4. And it sounds pretty bold that way. There's some little bitty inside things that are happening in that song that are very rhythmic, and inside that solo that are very rhythmic, that I think are so cool that I probably wouldn't have thought about playing a guitar because I had to double the banjo, so therefore I had to figure it out. And I like how it rolls into the... That part right there is something I probably wouldn't normally do. And I love the bendiness of it. You know, you can only bend the banjo string so much, you know, so it's going to be like those little quarter tone. It sounds a little out of tune, but it sounds good for some reason. So I love that part of trying to emulate what the banjo's doing on electric guitar.